It's lit like...
It's lit. It's lit.
It's lit. Do you know what? That is flames. That is straight fire.
It's pure.
That's what they... Pure hashtag.
Oh dear.
That's what
I'm
it is.
on this side of yours. Good evening. My name's Cole.
My name's Az.
Hold on to your geese, because we reviewed Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
That was a really weird intro.
That was... We're back in the car!
Yeah.
Vroom vroom!
Exactly. I was going to say this is an aberration,
I'm
but
in
it
my
wasn't
mum's
quite
car.
as bad. You get the
It's
fuck
not-
out of my car.
It's not my mum's car, it's my car.
It's
I'm a
his
grown
car.
ass
I'm in
man.
his. Ugh! We've done... Firstly, can we apologise for inconsistency? Because it's been a while since we've A, done a review full stop, and B, done a review where we've been driving in a car, which is what we intended to do with this channel. So this week we went to go and review Ghostbusters.
2016.
It's been a point of contention amongst the internet
We
for
weren't
many reasons.
happy the first time we saw the trailer and stuff. I don't think a lot of people were. So we're going to talk about it.
in a car.
Ugh.
But we'll come back and we'll talk about
Give
it.
you a
in bit.
score and stuff. See you in a bit.
It's been like over a month since
We
we've done
have
a
not
drive-through.
driven anywhere.
Oh, so how are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
Skeptical.
Apprehensive, I
Yeah,
think is the word.
that's a
I'm
better
looking for.
word. But skeptical too.
I realised I'm leaning. We've been messing with my chair
Messing with
settings.
my shit.
It's been too long.
Get this out of my face.
Get out my
Get it out of my face. Get it out of here.
So yeah, this film has been long awaited.
And
shall
long
we
and
say.
long debated.
Long awaited, long debated.
It has been. Right, in the history of cinema, films get remade all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like all the time. It's always
Reboot.
been a thing.
Yeah.
It's always happened. Like films from the 30s got remade in the 80s, and now films from the 80s are getting remade in the fucking 2010s, whatever you call them. Teletubbies. Films get remade. I accept that, but times changed, right?
Yes.
Since the 80s, right, there's been the advent of a thing called fucking Netflix. People can get this shit at their fingertips.
Yes.
People have seen these films,
Yes.
you know, and people still love these films very much.
Well,
I think it's very much different to when a film from the 40s, when you had to go fucking 18,000 miles away to see a film in a small cinema, which was on some dodgy projector, compared to how film has been since the 80s.
Those guys are carrying the sofa. Sorry, that was really distracting.
That's gonna be wet. I feel really bad for them. They're gonna have a really soggy sofa.
I'm glad.
Yeah, like what my point is this shouldn't have been a reboot. It should have been a continuation.
Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters,
Yes.
is a classic film. And I'm not throwing that out there as if to say, oh, it's the perfect movie, because it's by no means a perfect
Well, it's
movie.
not, but it's a classic
when
comedy
we went
movie.
to go see it when it was remastered at the cinema quite recently.
That was last Halloween, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it's Halloween before, I think.
Okay.
And I still maintain that film, even by today's standards, holds the hell up.
To get a lot of the humour
Because
in the
Dan
original
Aykroyd
Ghostbusters
wrote
movie.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
And this isn't written by Dan Aykroyd, so it's going to be a complete change of tone. But one thing that I am very, very concerned about is that it's just going to be slapstick comedy, playing off racial stereotypes and the fact that they're all women.
You know, the big thing was the feminism thing when this come out, and we said this in an earlier video. There's probably a clip of us somewhere, but we said we don't give a shit that it's women.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a matter of that.
I'm all for putting women in at the front line of films like this.
Yeah.
The thing that it does, it just play off really, really badly.
Yeah.
And throwing out obviously the main actresses, they're
all pretty well acclaimed.
They all are. Well, Kate McKinnon and
Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones.
The name of it.
Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones aren't necessarily as well known as you say. This is their first.
I'm pretty sure this is one of their.
I think Kate McKinnon's
done
in.
SNL stuff.
Yeah. That's what she's largely known for. Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy. They're huge. And I think you needed someone to be able to. You couldn't go into it with four complete unknowns.
No,
100%. And we're going to probably off the bat, we're probably going to receive a little bit of backlash for this movie, for this review potentially, on the basis that if you say something negative about this movie, it automatically, apparently, on the internet becomes something
sexist.
to do with something to do with the fact that there are women,
which I'd say is sexist within itself.
Yes.
Just because it's like, oh, it's two guys in a car reviewing a movie, they must be sexist, they're slating it because it's women. That is not the fucking case. The argument is, right, is you've got to look at this film without thinking about the originals, but it's too hard.
Oh, it's so hard.
It's
you
too
can't
hard.
make a Ghostbusters movie without
Thinking about Ghostbusters.
Precisely.
I'm not be funny, but how much spin-off shit has there been over the years as well? Like video games,
The animated series.
the series, everything. You know what I mean? Like, it all was based around those same characters.
Yes.
The lore of Ghostbusters is those characters.
Yes.
And it feels like Sony were like, well, we need to fucking do something with this.
It's like making Back to the Future.
Again.
With women.
Yeah.
With two women. With a crazy old woman and a young woman.
Yeah.
My main concern is that Paul Feige, his frame of mind is making a comedy movie with women for the sake of making a comedy movie with women.
Yeah.
And it just so happens to be a Ghostbusters film.
Yeah.
Because for years, Dan Aykroyd was signed on and perfectly happy to continue with the Ghostbusters movies and make a Ghostbusters 3 just so long as everybody else was involved. And obviously, tragically, we had the passing of Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
Fairly recently, I think it was probably a couple of years ago now.
That was the point where it was like, well, they
can't do it.
It's not going to happen. It's physically
it
not going to happen because you weren't going to have that film without
But
Egon.
Sony sold their soul to the devil.
Sold their soul. I don't like Melissa McCarthy.
I hate her. I actively hate her. And that's not to say that I hate all of the movies that she's in.
To be fair, I actually really enjoy Kristen Wiig though. I think she's fantastic. I think she's great.
It depends. And I will say it depends.
Okay.
Her SNL stuff, I'm a big fan of her SNL stuff.
I think I rate her. I enjoy her stuff. Melissa McCarthy though, I just can't get behind her. I'm upset. I can't catch any Pokemon.
I thought you said this was lame. Fuck you.
It is pretty lame.
It's not. I just caught a magic card.
You can't look you up, but no. Here we are. We'll be back in a room in a bit, giving you a score and stuff. How about that? Whoop-de-doo, Basil.
Wow.
I feel flustered now.
Sorry, I've ruined you.
You got me wrong. So, unlike normal, we're not going to give you like the first part of the review in the car and then come back here. We're just going to do it all here.
We changed it up because it's boring.
And long footage cuts and stuff. What did you think?
I will say this. It is not as bad as I expected it to be.
I genuinely thought I was going to be very, very upset.
Oh yeah. There are a few things for me that really didn't work, but there were there were a couple of things that sort of shone through. Sticks out for me as a negative is Melissa McCarthy. And I kind of knew that going in. I'll put it this way. You know when you go to the cinema with like a really annoying friend who just keeps talking all the time. Not like I'm not, you know, saying
not
for
me.
reason, but just keeps talking all the time. And it's all like, oh, this is fun. We're having fun. She was that, but she was in the movie, so you couldn't get rid of her. She was constantly, look at me. I'm very funny. Fuck you. You're so annoying.
She's just a bad actress.
She's
And
terrible.
I kept turning to you the whole film, and I was going, I hate her. And I was like, I kept saying she's the worst thing about this film.
She is 100%.
I think she was the wrong person for the role. I don't believe her as a scientist either.
No, I don't believe her as many characters. And I said this to you yesterday, but there is zero chemistry between her and Kristen Wiig.
They're the two main characters.
They are the two main characters.
No, I think the other three though
Gel quite well.
They gel quite nicely, but she is the
odd one
out. The odd one out of the four. I mean, maybe I mean we're a little bit biased because neither of us actually enjoyed. But I mean, don't want to harp on and be completely bashing her, but we don't really enjoy Melissa McCarthy stuff. We both kind of enjoyed Spy,
kind of,
but that's about it. So
yeah, like it's not. This film is not as bad as you would expect it to be, or if you were in our shoes initially, as I expected it to be. That's not to say it's a great movie.
It's not great. If you were going to rank the 3 best Ghostbuster movies, you would be
got
number
1, 2,
3.
this, yeah, exactly.
But that's not saying this is an awful film because it's not an awful film.
We said this on the drive there, but that isn't to say that the original film is a perfect movie.
No, it's not.
But it's still Ghostbusters, and there's so much in this that tries so hard to beat that Ghostbusters.
When they brought Star Wars back out, right? That's basically A New Hope again.
Yeah.
Right? This is essentially Ghostbusters 1. Again, the difference here is we still had the original characters.
Yes. It was a homage to.
It was a homage to and reintroduction to.
They're still in the same universe.
Whereas here, we're not in the same universe. I think I summed it up to you on the way back home last night, is that it is 2016 funny.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's very like, YouTube and Reddit and stuff.
It tries so hard to be hip and down with the kids, but at the same time still play into that 80s nostalgia. Yeah. It's like, what do you want to be? Make up your mind.
Yeah.
And that for me really didn't work. Another thing that didn't work, visual effects.
I was literally just, you took the words. There is a scene where they're in like a hallway, and outside is say like, I don't know, 1,000 people.
There's supposedly still stuff going on outside.
But Jesus Christ, you can tell how fake it is.
It looks like somebody's literally hand painted a backdrop.
It looks like this wallpaper behind us. That's
awful. It's so bad. And I think the visual effects start off okay, but they just get progressively worse as the film goes on.
As the film progresses, though, it's more busy.
The scale builds.
It's more, the scale builds, and then that's when it starts feeling like, okay, now it's turning to, Revenge of the Sith type territory, whereas people just standing on a green screen and nothing's happening. Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, movies, we all know the movies, they're all fucking, visual effects and stuff.
It's getting better it's
getting better, but this is just, it just felt lazy.
And it draws you out. And there's parts of it where I was saying to you, where it feels like the four main characters are clearly just fighting nothing in front of a green screen.
Yeah. And even like smoke effects and stuff like that. It's like, why are you CGI-ing that?
Oh yeah.
Why is that CGI? You could just use some lights and some smoke.
There's too much of it.
Why? Like things like that I don't get. I think
somebody's just tried to render it in because you can otherwise tell.
To make it atmospheric? Yeah, exactly. It's like, why don't you just use real practical smoke? I don't see why that's a thing.
One thing I will say is, for those who are interested, the original surviving members of the original Ghostbusters do have cameos. We won't mention what they are.
So one and only spoil. Semi-spoil.
They
put a big black screen here.
Yeah, they do have cameos.
They are in the film. I'm not going to say exactly what they do in the film, but I think we both felt that they were a bit lackluster.
They were very, very wasted, I think. And I said again to you last night, I think that it was kind of clear, with Bill Murray anyway, that he just didn't want to be there. Yeah. And in that it felt like he didn't want to be there. Yeah. And that was quite painful.
He felt very un-Murray, didn't he?
He was very un-Murray. Almost to the point where he just, it could have been anybody.
It felt like it was just a paycheck, his performance, 100%. Could have been dialed in and just, thanks.
But yeah, we've spoken enough about what
we didn't like. Here's what we did like.
There's two things.
Well, yeah, okay.
For me,
I'll
two things.
I'll go with the one that's going to get us called sexist, but Chris Hemsworth, he's fucking brilliant.
By far and away, again, call us sexist, call us what you will, but he is by far and away the best part of this movie. And you shouldn't have to say that in a very heavily female-fronted Ghostbusters film, but he is. Yeah. He's so funny.
He just steals the show.
His comedy timing is perfect.
It's so good.
And this is really the first opportunity that we've had to see, other than, I suppose, if you went and saw Vacation.
Yeah.
But this was really, he got to stretch something different.
His comedic legs.
And we nailed it.
Yeah, it was great.
So funny.
Another
thing for me, which won't get me labelled as sexist.
No.
The one character out of the four lineup, Kate McKinnon. It's her first mainstream movie. But she
is splendid.
Nailed it. She's so good.
So good. Out of the four ladies, she's she's got the more strong comic moments in the film.
If you want to talk about obviously comedy timing, she has it in spades, and I think her characterisation was a lot better than all the others as well. Yeah. Because she's very eccentric.
Her facials as well. Like, her facial expression she pulls throughout the film.
She doesn't even need to be saying anything in any given scene. No. But you still get captivated by her in just a random way.
I think if they come back and did a sequel now, the foundations are set, and maybe they could have a really strong second film.
Yes, but they'd need to very heavily review what they've done in this and actually act on making it better.
Yeah, which I think they can. I mean, at the end of the day, the cast is strong.
The cast, apart from Melissa McCarthy. And one thing I will say, and I didn't touch on this earlier, but Kristen Wiig, usually she's okay, and I will say she's okay, and I know a lot of people will defend her, saying she's a good comedian or comedian. she, in this context, because Melissa McCarthy is trying so hard to be funny, she tries very, very hard to keep up and be the funniest of the group, and be very Kristen Wiig, and that felt
just that awkward
to me. Talking under your breath really quickly and doing all this and that gets very, very tired very, very quickly. Less of that. But if you were to say, right, Ghostbusters, God forbid, the 1980s Ghostbusters
never
do not
existed.
exist.
Yeah,
is this a good film?
It's okay. I'd still stand by it. It's okay.
Yeah, it is okay.
I wouldn't. At the end of the day, we expected to go in there and absolutely hate it. I would sit through that film again quite happily.
Yes.
I don't know if I'd go back to the cinema and see it necessarily.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Let's score it.
I said my score to you yesterday as we were leaving the cinema just off the bat. You know what it is. You don't know what it is, so I'm just going to say it. 46 out of 88. And I know that's not particularly good, but it's over halfway, so don't shoot me in the face.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm going straight down the middle, 44.
44. Okay, see, I was not expecting you to go lower than me.
Yeah.
On that.
The more I thought about it today, the more the bad stuff glared out to me, and it was like, this is. I've been saying this to people who've been asking me today as well. I'm like, it's not a horrible movie. It's not a great movie. It's good.
In between.
It's in the middle for me anyway. I personally think it's bang in the middle. It's worth seeing. It's just
Do you know what airs on the side of negativity to me that I sort of thought as soon as I woke up this morning, is that it's kind of instantly forgettable. Like I woke up this morning and I was like, I didn't really remember enough about it.
Yeah. I agree, and that's more why my score is 44.
That's fair enough. So combine that, which is
45.
literally in the middle of the road, 45.
45.
1 point over half.
Over half.
Again, better than we expected to be. We've already said this, but go out and see it, because form your own opinions. We're not going to turn around and say, oh, it's an aberration to society and to mankind, and it's very, very sexist and all that kind of stuff. Because it is what it is. Go out and watch it. Form your own opinion. We're not going to force it down your throat, but that's just our opinion.
You make yours. Leave it in a comment below. Like the video. Yeah. Share the video. Subscribe to us. Do all that glorious stuff, and then come back next time when we go see whatever we're seeing next. Cheers for watching.
Thank you. PopVulture out.
Bye bye.